Hi class! So this week we are working on another counting strategy. So last week we practiced count and scoot. This week we're practicing count and touch because sometimes we have objects that we can't move. So we're going to have this strategy as well. So for today's activity, you're going to need your quadrant sheet. We use the front in class, so you can turn it over and use the back now. And then you'll need your strategy sheet, because that'll help you remind you of what strategy we're using today, which is count and touch. And you'll need some materials from your toolbox. So you'll need to grab, if you want to get your counters, your puff balls, your bears, you could grab your noodles. It's up to you, but grab at least 3 of them and 1 crayon. So get your materials, and then I'll meet you back here. All right, so just like we were doing last week, I'm gonna reach my hand into my bag and I'm going to just put a pile on 1 square. I'm not gonna count anything yet. I'm gonna get a pile of puff balls, a small handful, and I'm going to put them on each square. Let me do some counters. And the last one I'm gonna actually draw in, because these we might actually be able to move and organize before we touch them. But sometimes we won't have objects that we can actually move, and so count and touch will be a great strategy to use for those situations. So I'm going to just draw some dots. I'm not going to count them as I do them. I'm just going to draw them. Okay, so I like that many. I have this many. We'll see what that is when I use my strategy to count. Okay, and then I'm gonna just color this in the middle, because we don't have a number that we're just focusing on. We're gonna be finding the quantity for each object. Okay, so I put all my piles on here. Now you guys know, if there's objects that we can move, we need the first step before we count or use any strategy is we have to organize. So before I start counting any of these piles, I'm going to organize them. I'm going to find my start and I'm going to find my stop, so that I don't make any mistakes when I'm counting. I don't want to skip any. I don't want to count them more than 1 time. So I'm going to make sure I organize first. So I'm going to take my bears and I'm going to organize them in a line. And I don't have enough room, so I'm going to go up and then this way. So I'm going to start here and finish here with the yellow. I'm going to do my puff balls. Maybe I'm going to do a diagonal. So I'm going to start with green, and then I'm going to end on purple. For my counters, I have a lot, so I'm going to go like this. So I'm gonna start here, and then I'll go, come back down, and I'll finish right there. Now these crayons are gonna be a little tricky. So when I get to that one, because we can't move our dots around, so I'll show you how to count this one in an organized way when we get there. So I grabbed a pile of all my small objects, I organized them, I found where my start was and my stop was, and now it's time to use my strategy of count and touch. So last week we used count and scoot. So we moved them as we counted them. We scooted them away. We're not going to do that strategy today. We're going to touch each one as we count it. But remember, like in class, when you touch it, then you can count it. Don't keep going too quick. Touch it, then count it. Touch it, then count it, okay? And we're not scooting today. We're count and touch. So you guys help me. I'm going to start at the red. I'm going to end at the yellow. Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this quantity is 4. So in this little circle up here, I'm going to take my crayon and I'm going to write the number 4. Down, over, down once more. That's how we make a 4. Okay, let's see how many puff balls. I'm going to start at the green. I'm going to end at the purple. 1. I'm going to touch each one. 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I got the same quantity. So I'm going to write a 4 in this circle. Down, over, down. Whoops, down once more. My puff balls left. I'm going to line them back up. Okay. All right, this one's a little bit more. So let me see if I'm going to start here and I'm going to end here. And the strategy we're using is count and touch. Don't touch and keep counting too quick. Touch each one as you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our number is 7. Our quantity is 7. So across the sky and down once more. That's how we make a 7. Okay, our last one, which is the trickiest one, is the dots that I drew. Now, these are unorganized on the paper, but sometimes we're going to run into that. So we will learn a strategy next week. That's really great for this kind of problem. But for this week, we have to try our best to figure out how we can do it in an organized way. So I'm going to right now kind of connect these so I know when I'm counting. So I'm going to just kind of draw a line like this so I know that's how I'm going to count. Okay, so as I touch, I'm going to follow my path, and that'll help me know that I need to get each one. I'm going to touch each dot as I go. Okay, I'm going to start here and I'm going to end up here at the top. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My quantity is 8. So make an S and do not stop. Go back to the top to make an 8. All right, boys and girls, once you're done, you have to make sure that all your small objects get put back in their bags. But before you do, make sure you take a picture of your quadrant paper so I can see how you practice count and touch. You could take a picture of your quadrant paper, and you can also have mommy or daddy, if you can, take a video of you using our strategy and showing me that you organized them and then you did count and touch. Can't wait to see your hard work, kindergartners. Take a picture of your quadrant sheet once it's completed, and then if mommy and daddy can, have them take a video of you using our counting strategy of count and touch.